Welcome to the debate. Today we are opening the file on a really fascinating study in comparative value, and it's drawn straight from the heart of London's commercial property market. We have two listings for fully serviced Grade A office spaces. They're both in these, globally recognized premier central districts, and they're both advertised at the exact same price, £900 PCM. So we're comparing 75 Grosvenor Street in Mayfair against a distinguished property on Pall Mall in St. James's. And this core constraint, the identical price point, it forces a necessary debate about prioritization. Which of these two locations, ultimately, provides the superior offering for a high-performing business? I'll be contending that 75 Grosvenor Street in Mayfair offers the decisive advantage. It specializes in, unparalleled status and brand equity, which is just crucial for a business whose success hinges on external perception and prestige.
And I'll be taking the opposing view. Because while yes, Mayfair's prestige is undeniable, our material suggests that the Pall Mall location in St. James's delivers a far superior foundation for sustained growth. My argument really centers on the operational flexibility, the guaranteed technical scalability, and the critical functional support that's explicitly offered in that Pall Mall listing. When the price is fixed, the true value, for me, lies in minimizing your operational vulnerability and maximizing adaptability.
So my core thesis is built on this understanding that for a certain class of business, the environment itself is a strategic asset. 75 Grosvenor Street offers an environment uniquely curated to, inspire success. It's specifically targeting growing businesses that are seeking a prestigious setting. The address is explicitly highlighted as Prime Mayfair, situated in an exclusive neighborhood, just a short walk from Bond Street Station, and its whole accompanying ecosystem of high-end retail, dining, and entertainment. This proximity is not just a convenience, it's an immediate signal of financial gravitas. And furthermore, the architecture itself contributes to this status. The listing details an impressive Georgian property, blending classic elegance with modern design. This assures clients and the team that the business operates within a structure that signifies, enduring stability and taste. When we talk about Grade A space here, it means the highest standard of technical fit-out, connectivity, climate control, all housed within a structure of real architectural significance. It's an elevation of the daily workspace. And this commitment to holistic quality is further cemented by these unique, non-essential but highly desirable amenities, newly refurbished interiors, and critically, a unique roof terrace that has to be seen to be believed, and the provision of showers. These are features that speak directly to an investment in the caliber of clientele and employee experience, enhancing what I would call the brand equity framework.
Okay, and I approach this comparison by looking at the internal needs of a business focused on long-term viability, what I call operational efficiency. While you're focusing, I think, almost entirely on the outward-facing glamour, the Pall Mall listing in St. James's really hones in on enabling the team to execute flawlessly. The St. James's district itself, it carries immense prestige, but the offering here is defined by its superior functional specifications. What truly distinguishes Pall Mall is its explicit scalability and adaptability. The listing details offices available from 1 up to a massive 200 workstations. And not only that, it promises layouts that can be tailor-made to suit your team. This isn't just a place to rent a desk. This is a commitment to allowing a company to grow organically within the building without the catastrophic disruption and capital expenditure of a relocation. That is a powerful promise.
And the most critical functional asset here is the explicit mention of an in-house IT support services department. The absence of this detail in the Mayfair listing, it forces us to assume the company has to handle technical operations internally or through external vendors, which adds cost and friction. Pall Mall provides a ready-made, first-class facility that supports daily output, a fundamental requirement for modern business. And that, for me, far outweighs any aesthetic advantage.
You speak powerfully about functional superiority, but I have to push back on the premise that status is purely aesthetic. The intrinsic value of the Mayfair location is a strategic asset. That prestigious address, it's a form of non-cash capital. It's a signal of success that attracts not only high-caliber clients, but also top-tier talent, who are often willing to prioritize environment and access over, raw square footage. The environment, being curated to inspire success, it extends far beyond the four walls of the office. The proximity to Bond Street's dining and entertainment means client meetings can transition seamlessly into world-class venues, reinforcing the business's elevated standing. If a company's valuation is tied to perception, if it's in wealth management, high-end consulting, or certain creative fields, then the superior brand equity of Mayfair is the functional asset, not the IT department.
I agree that location signals intent, I do. But when we look closely at the operational promises, the limitations of the Mayfair listing become, I think, quite apparent. If the primary focus is attracting top talent, then retaining and enabling that talent is paramount. You emphasize the curated environment, but I'm focused on that explicit promise of scalability up to 200 workstations at Pall Mall. That promise fundamentally dictates the target market. Mayfair, particularly in a classic Georgian building, is typically structured for boutique, high-value firms that require a small footprint of intense prestige. For £900 PCM, the Mayfair offering is likely purchasing a very small, highly exclusive slice of a larger floor plate. The St. James's property, by contrast, is engineered to handle rapid organic headcount expansion. This ensures that a serious, scaling business never has to move, which translates directly into operational continuity and cost savings that, well, they far exceed the perceived benefit of a Mayfair postcode. Status is fleeting if your operations are structurally inflexible. So let's move directly to the conflict between these specific amenities. Look, I genuinely find it hard to rationalize the aesthetic value of the Grosvenor amenities against the sheer operational utility of the Pall Mall support systems. I'm not convinced that a magnificent roof terrace or the presence of showers, features that are by their nature occasional or ancillary, outweigh a core daily utility like an in-house IT support services department. Technical support is a non-negotiable requirement for modern business. It ensures zero downtime, it guarantees connectivity, and it removes a major management headache. A roof terrace is a luxury item. The IT support is risk mitigation and productivity assurance.
How can a strategic business prioritize a view over guaranteed uptime? That line of reasoning, while focused on tangible function, it dismisses the strategic role of these so-called luxury items. I see why you prioritize technical support, of course, but let me give you a different perspective on the roof terrace and showers. They are not merely aesthetic. They are indicators of an extraordinarily high-specification, holistic fit-out. For the Grosvenor Street property to be certified as Grade A space, newly refurbished, and yet housed within an old Georgian property, that means significant capital was spent to ensure all modern standards were met, including ventilation, climate control, and yes, connectivity. The inclusion of amenities like the terrace and showers suggest a commitment to employee wellness and retention, especially when you're recruiting high-caliber talent in a competitive market. These amenities are statement. We invest in the overall experience, not just the technical plumbing. That signaling function is highly strategic. Furthermore, your assumption regarding the necessity of in-house IT support is predicated on failure. A business operating at the high level Mayfair attracts, well, it often demands dedicated vendor relationships. They may not want general in-house support. They want their own highly specific, customized technical solutions. The lack of that explicit mention in the Mayfair listing doesn't imply an absence of support. It implies a more discreet, often bespoke approach tailored to a specific firm, which aligns perfectly with that exclusive neighborhood concept.
And we have to analyze why these two distinct value propositions are priced identically at 900 PCM. This identical pricing reveals an inherent trade-off. In Mayfair, the land value and the prestige are dramatically higher than in St. James's. Therefore, for the same cost, the Mayfair offering is mathematically buying a smaller, more concentrated unit of real estate.
That smaller space is purchased for the exclusive purpose of brand elevation. It is a premium paid for postcode scarcity. The business is receiving less physical infrastructure, less space, perhaps less capacity, but significantly higher brand equity per square foot. This, to me, confirms that the Mayfair listing is superior for businesses focused on maximization of status in a compact, highly prestigious setting.
That's a strong point regarding the intrinsic land value. I'll grant you that. But that very calculation leads me to believe the Pall Mall offering is the more ethical, I suppose, use of resources for a growing company. If the Mayfair listing is demanding the same price for less physical utility, that means the £900 is an excessive premium for a postcode that doesn't actually deliver the necessary infrastructure for sustained success. What is the long-term ROI on prestige versus guaranteed operational uptime? When you hit a hiring surge and realize the Mayfair space is capped at, say, 5 desks because of its Georgian architecture, the relocation costs and business disruption will dwarf any initial branding benefit. Pall Mall provides a transparent, flexible pricing structure that guarantees expansion space and the ability to tailor layouts. A concrete promise of adaptability that the historic Mayfair building simply cannot match without extreme and likely hidden internal compromises. The Pall Mall offering is designed for robust financial planning, not just outward appearances.
I must challenge your assumption about the scalability of the Pall Mall space, though. The capacity to house up to 200 workstations. It suggests a very different operational density and likely a vast, open-plan or highly modular corporate structure. While flexible, this environment might lack the exclusivity and quiet focus necessary for a high-level, discerning client interface. The Grosvenor Street property, retaining its classic elegance, suggests a quieter, more private, and, frankly, executive atmosphere. This is ideal for those who prioritize discretion and focused meeting spaces over maximum desk capacity. When we look at the description, newly refurbished throughout, yet retaining classic elegance, it just screams tailored exclusivity.
The business that needs 200 desks is likely a large corporate entity. The business that needs a prestigious setting in Mayfair is more likely a highly valuable boutique operation that prioritizes quality interaction over the sheer quantity of employees. The target audience for Mayfair is fundamentally different and receives a superior product for their specific needs.
That's a compelling argument about the ideal target client. But have you considered the implicit flexibility in terms? For Pall Mall, the explicit mention of bespoke, tailored layouts suggests a provider who is willing to negotiate deeply on the physical configuration to suit the tenant. This degree of customized service suggests a much higher commitment to the individual tenant's long-term satisfaction than the Mayfair property, which it appears to be selling a fixed, high-status commodity. The Pall Mall description highlights amazing views over London and comfortable business lounges. These are features that boost team morale and provide flexible professional alternatives to the main office, not just for clients, but for the team working long hours. This combination of scalable structure and focus support, the in-house IT and the business lounges, demonstrates a foundational commitment to internal operational resilience that simply isn't matched by the Mayfair focus on external signaling. Pall Mall is designed to adapt to the business, ensuring its continued operational success regardless of size fluctuations or technical crises.
While the customization at Pall Mall is attractive, I maintain that St. James's, while excellent, simply does not possess the unique, almost global resonance of prime Mayfair. If we are talking about a business where the address serves as a primary marketing tool, a global gateway, the Mayfair location, coupled with the prestige of the architecture and the exclusivity of the neighborhood, is an unmatched differentiator. Pall Mall offers robustness and adaptability. Grosvenor Street offers elevation in definitive luxury. You can manage operational vulnerability, but you cannot purchase the inherent global cachet of Mayfair anywhere else.
And you can manage the lack of a roof terrace, but you cannot easily replace the security of scalable space and guaranteed technical infrastructure during periods of rapid growth. That technical infrastructure, the lifeblood of a modern scaling business, is explicitly guaranteed in the Pall Mall listing. When a company is focused on organic growth, minimizing operational vulnerability is the most strategic financial decision it can make. Pall Mall offers that crucial balance, an undeniably prestigious address coupled with necessary, functional longevity.
I think we both agree that these are both grade A properties, fully serviced and premier locations in the capital. The source material is exceptionally strong on both sides.
Absolutely, yeah. The decision for any business comes down to whether their greatest point of vulnerability is external perception or internal execution.
Right. So, in summarizing my position,
75 Grosvenor Street provides the superior offering because it maximizes the strategic, non-monetary value of the address. It provides the ultimate blend of classic elegance, newly refurbished Grade A standards, and unmatched prestige within prime Mayfair. This environment attracts the best clients and talent, providing the aspirational setting that fundamentally drives success in high-end markets. For the business that must signal absolute status, Mayfair provides superior brand equity at that price point.
And I maintain that the Pall Mall offering provides the superior functional foundation for long-term viability. While undeniably prestigious in St. James's, its strength lies in focusing on the foundational needs of a growing operation. The capacity for organic expansion up to 200 workstations, the promise of bespoke layout potential, and, critically, the guaranteed in-house technical support structure. It all makes it the superior choice for sustained operational excellence and risk mitigation across a wide range of team sizes.
So ultimately, the choice between these two exceptional London locations depends entirely on the business's core priority. Are they prioritizing the signaling of status and leveraging exclusive, curated high-end amenities to enhance their brand?
Or are they focused on securing maximum operational flexibility, long-term scalability, and guaranteed technical infrastructure to support rapid and organic expansion?
Both listings clearly offer a premier London experience at the same price point, but they reveal distinctly different philosophies on the pathway to success in the capital. One focused on external perception, the other on internal performance, all illuminated by what they choose to highlight in their specifications.